maybe I'm not just like used to the comp scene, but interesting matches.
Mhm.
I know you suggested to like stick to one hero, but sometimes I find it like I don't know if it's just like bronze ranks in general, but it seems like I almost have to play Moira for the most part.
Why is that the case?
Just like how the matches go sometimes. It just seems like it gets a little bit crazy, like everyone's scattered all over the place,
Mhm.
and like with Moira, it's easier to just like throw an orb and uh like cover people healing wise.
Hmm. I see. I see. Do you uh, did you try to do what we suggested in terms of because I think this reason alone, trying to cover people with the healing, mm, it might complicate things a lot of times because when you're trying to control the map, your first priority is to see how much pressure you can apply, and especially if we play in the character where maybe you don't play as much or maybe you don't actively practice, that becomes more difficult for you basically, and your team is gonna die more basically because we
Right.
right. So I'm thinking it might be a fine reason to maybe swap to other character. They just the reasoning alone, where my teammates they need healing. Usually it's not good enough. Usually want to look at the bigger picture, if you like. We can discuss this if you want. Just what is the reasoning about picking each character? We can definitely do that. You wanna do that actually? Start with that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the other thing is like when people start scattering, it's like I don't know like where to like who I should be like with. Like say for example like a DPS and supports on one side and a tank is on point and then we got the other DPS like on their own somewhere. It's like it's more like I think that's where I get in my head on where like I should position myself, like who to choose
Mm-hmm.
to be with, I guess. Because I know it's like always best to be like in a group and not like I
Mm-hmm.
guess be scattered about.
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
with this mainly, it's okay. If you find people scattered, that's stuff definitely fine. You don't have to pay attention to everybody. Like, first of all, your priority is to see how can you control the map. So yeah, as we mentioned, just making sure we're applying enough pressure. But then you can also notice who is more active within a certain group. Sometimes it can be the tank, sometimes it can be one of your DPS. It's just based on the triggers, basically. You don't have to heal everybody. You just have to heal the most active person, help them out if they need it, of course. Because our first priority is to apply pressure. Yeah, remember, we talked about there was a simple rule for us, making sure we do damage when just until somebody is critical, kind of like that. I think that was our sort of rule. Yeah, in our previous
Yeah.
session. We can look into that a little bit more. So it's target priority. Okay, this is one. Also swapping characters. Yeah, what is based on what you have to play a certain character, and yeah, we can look into the previous concepts. What about the previous concepts, by the way? What you've been applying so far? What's been difficult as well? Stuff like that.
I think I've been better about like being close to my teammates and not being like 50 meters in the back line. Like I'm actually like
Hmm?
maybe say like 30 meters. I have a I'm bad with guessing, but it's definitely like better in that sense. Like I'm not like so far away.
Hmm. So you
Um,
you contribute into the kill zone. That's what you're saying. This is a previous idea which we discussed.
yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. When you contribute into the kill zone, do you play on the angle as well? Remember, I think one of our first sessions where you have to sort of take an angle on Kiri. We talked about how you can take 180 angles potentially, stuff like that. Did you try to do that as well, or?
Yes, I've been trying to be better with that
Mhm.
as well. Um,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I've been also like trying to like apply pressure. Like say if I see like a life weaver in the back line, I'll probably like take shots at the life weaver,
Mhm.
just to like apply pressure on them.
Mm-hmm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think that makes sense. Okay, we can take a look at the game, the one you sent me, and yeah, let's discuss why you should pick a certain character, what it's based on. Well, at least on your level. I, I think on your level, the most important thing for you to look at is not even the team composition. A lot of times I suggest for people to look into the team composition once they reach, so it's around plat level, because now your team composition is basically irrelevant. We mostly want to learn fundamentals of our characters, make sure we're consistent at the right position, we're using abilities correctly. Once you do that, then later we can kind of move towards discussing team compositions. But for now, what you can look at is the maps you play on. I'm just gonna screen share and show you. Okay, so here yeah, we can start with this. Okay, the replay you sent me is a good one, yeah? Or you wanna start with any other one?
That one's good.
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at
Because I
that.
think I sent like it was a push map, and I think like push maps are generally like one of my weaker ones, just for the reason of being people being like all over the place.
Uh huh. Okay, okay,
Um,
makes sense. Yeah, that is understandable. Yes, sometimes it can be pretty chaotic, yeah, especially when people are all over the place. We'll talk about that. How can we deal with that? Okay, so with the maps, what I usually like to look at might be a little bit too general, but this is the thought process you might follow. I think first, what the map can be, what kind of maps you can have in general. I usually differentiate those on three categories. I usually like to say they are more short range maps, kind of more enclosed maps. There are also maps where you got some sort of long range sightline. Oh, by the way, you see my stream just fine. It's working for you?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the second type of the map is the long range map, kind of more openish, and the third category is the maps with a lot of verticality, the maps with a lot of high grounds. What you will see typically on most of the maps, you will see short range spaces, you will see long range spaces, and you will see high grounds. Yes, you will see every type of the space, but what matters to you is that what space is kind of more important, what space is kind of more important to deal with when you're trying to get the objective. For example, here I have the robot in the middle. Okay, so this robot here, what do you think? What kind of positions are pretty important to fight for in order to control the robot in the future?
Um, sorry, what was? Say that again.
Yeah, what kind of positions you think are pretty important to fight for when you looking to control the robot in the future?
Uh, Probably that area in front of the tower, maybe,
Okay,
like on the steps.
yeah, area in front. Okay, and the key to control this area is are there? Let's just kind of see. Is that more about controlling short range spaces here, long range spaces, or high grounds? You think?
Short range.
Short range. Okay. What kind of space we looking to control is, well, this one here, right? So sort of, yeah. This is what you're saying, yeah. This island here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is reasonable. Yeah. There's some sort of short range space, and something you can take a look at is also there are two high grounds here. So this one here, and in order to control that short range space, whenever you're on those high grounds, you just kind of see it better. Yeah, you have better line of sight, and you can cover more the space around the statue. So this is how I would look at it. You need to see what kind of space gives you more control over the space around the objective. So see, yes, there's some sort of short range space, but if I'm on this high ground, I can control bigger area around the point. Okay, I will give you another example. So this map was a example with the high grounds. Yeah, another map with the high grounds can be something like Numbani. You see here the first point, the key to control this objective, and yes, it gets to the short range here, but when I'm trying to control this objective, what gives you more power, kind of, what gives you more options typically is if you control this high grounds, because you can go left, you can go right, yeah, you can also drop from here. If you control those high grounds, it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty good. You can just surround the objective basically. Okay, so this is the maps with the sort of examples with the where you have a lot of high grounds. But also some other types of maps where I don't have it here exactly, but if you remember Legion Control Center, for example, the point where you got pretty enclosed space, the point where the key to control the point is to control the room that it's called the white room. Once you control that point, you're able to control the objective later. It might seem a little bit confusing at the start with the maps, but this is how I would look at it. You just need to see what the map here is more about. Okay, so I mentioned few high grounds. Yeah, maybe the example with the short range map can be something like Legion Control Center, and with long range maps. Yeah, what do you actually think about long range maps? Can you yeah, can you come up with any ideas? What do you think? What kind of maps have really long sight lines? Maybe some points where you have really open space to deal with. Do you remember those?
Um, Probably that new push map that came out, like Ruinous Happy, maybe.
Oh, the one, yeah, might be. Actually, there are a few long range. Actually, unfortunately, I didn't review that map as much yet, but yeah, it might be. I'm thinking the straight example of really good map, long range map might be also something like Circuit Royale, might be something like Chunkytown, might be something like Havana. You again got really long
Oh,
sightlines.
yeah. I just remembered Havana. I was thinking
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, it's stuff like that. I'm thinking, yeah. And once you get to know what the map you play on, you can pick the character accordingly. Basically, with your pool, let me see, you got Kiriko Nana so far, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So Kiriko, typically, because you got a lot of mobility, but you can wall climb, you can also TP through the walls too. You can typically play on maps with a lot of high grounds pretty well. You really good on any high ground map. So for example here on Esperanza, what you can do is you can take the high ground right from the start because you play Kiri. And this is kind of the key to control the map. Later you can also control this one too. And there's also a possibility for you to control this area as well. Maybe this area here, maybe this building if you like. Yeah, it's just whenever you see there's a lot of high grounds, I think Kiri is suitable. Maybe for Anna. Anna is a long range character. The maps with the long sightlines will be more suitable, typically. And see, because you play the character on the map where he is suitable, just get more value, basically. So I don't even think you have to look into your team yet at this level. We just want to look at the map later once you reach, so it will be around gold probably. Yeah, we'll talk about team composition more because that will start actually matter. This is where you can start considering it, and it's more important. It's gonna be more important than the map in the future. But for now, I would just consider the map. You think, okay, what this map gives me? Maybe don't think about it too much, but just think, okay, from this three points I mentioned, yeah, the map or the point you play on, is it more about the short range? Is it more about the long range? Is it more about high ground control? I can give you an example. Each map, well, yeah, typically each map you can differentiate on. It's not just about one section; it's about multiple sections. Maybe on Iconval first point, you can have pretty short sightline when you fight in the space around the statue. There was space around the tower. Sorry, there's a tower in the middle on the first point on Eichenwald, and on the second point you got a lot of high grounds to deal with. So first point, short range character, any short range character is good. Second point, any character with mobility typically will be better because it's the key to control the map just through the high grounds. And third point, actually, on Eichenwald, it's pretty short range too. Short range, in close space. So again, swapping to short range character will make sense. This is what I would do for now. You can see how it's that gonna go. Maybe if you get any questions about this, yeah, when you have to swap or not, you can message me. That's alright.
Okay.
Yeah, but does it make sense sort of the swapping depending on the map
It
or
does. Now,
uh-huh.
I do have another like unrelated question
Oh
about
yeah.
like composition that doesn't really have to do with myself, but like my
Hmm.
teammates.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know like I had a match yesterday where I had like a Farah on my team who kept dying to like their soldier, and I wanted to be like, Farah's not working out. Can you please switch
Uh-huh.
off? And it's like, is it too early for me to like have like a say on like trying to control what other people are playing or
Oh yeah, it does matter really for this. It honestly does matter at any rank. It's just you will see it through the lens later. What we'll do with you is we'll look at the entire team composition and we'll make you adapt. Well, it's not that you're trying to help out your team. No, it's that you trying to sneak as much value as possible on your characters because you have certain composition. Yeah, you might have something like Farah, maybe she's flying around the map, but then you have pretty good short range composition, maybe Brawl composition or roll with Ryan Viper, there's Lucio, something like that, and then there's no point in helping Farah. Well, she's dying, she can do whatever she wants, but we pay attention to the big picture and we enabling the big, just our main win condition. Let's put it this way. And this is how you think. And again, it's not about that you help your team. It's about you sneak more value with on your character because it's easier for you to play certain characters. Let's put it this way. It's basically easier for me to follow up on a short range composition when they inside the buildings if I play short range character with them and just run in the buildings with them instead of playing something like long range where something like Anna where I'm not able to see them at all. But it's because you just enabling uh, playing the character which is easier to follow up on your team's aggression. This is how you
okay.
can think. Yeah, if someone they're not doing their job, well, first just pay attention. It's always better to see how can you apply more pressure on your character. What can you do to control the map? Uh, and it's usually gonna be through the just how do you do more damage towards the enemy team? I think is your first priority for now. Well, we did talk about it a lot, but yeah, it's quite important. Just applying pressure through the abilities, through how you position yourself, even because you divert the enemy's attention to. This is quite important. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what we do. So we had so far is just kill zone. Yeah, it's been kill zone. Making sure you contribute to that. Let's see how you do that. And yeah, do you have any questions maybe before we start?
Not that I can think of now.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna write down then there's just one note adapt depending on the map. Short, long, high grounds. Yeah, this is what you will do. And here I think Kiri, well, it's quite good and you can do it as we mentioned to be honest. Play 1-2 characters, those Kiriana. This is fine. Yeah, I want you to see right away where you are and how you control in space here. Okay, so remember we talked about you need to apply pressure in the kill zone and do it from the angle somewhere. So where should you be right away?
Uh, Maybe between those two hedges in the middle.
Yeah, it can be. You can. So it's basically you go towards this way. Yeah, and in rotation. See, it might be maybe doing this. Yeah, it might be also if you like, you could actually also control the right side. But I think controlling the left side is also fine. But see, you need to put it as your first priority. You don't want to worry about healing your team too much, especially when there's just a start of the match, because pressure is more important. Yeah, we just can never you never can out heal the damage anyway. So you need to set up your own damage potential and see because do focus on kind of healing your team here, you actually stuck out in the open. There's no cover, and then you're getting forced to use the Suzu on yourself, right? So it's just not helping your team. Actually, turns out that we wasting even more resources, and then they have to fall back too, because there's not enough pressure from the angle. You're not diverting the attention, right? Stuff like that. But this is good if you can stay here, though. I think you can divert some of the attention later. Yeah. So this is nice. Yeah, this is good. This is good pressure. Okay. And then wall climb here. Suzu. Okay, I think because we have wanted to talk about target priority, let's think about it. I mentioned that you have to. Well, first of all, obviously you need to apply your own pressure, your own damage potential. But once you've done it, later you can pay attention to who is more active on the field. So I'm gonna say target, target priority. You need to see who is doing more, and this is based on few triggers. Okay, so I'll look at it. If I use Suzu on somebody or I heal somebody, this person has to be active. This person has to be receiving a lot of pressure, basically. So, say here, for example, if you use Suzu on this group of people, on the Sarissa, is that reasonable? Is she active enough? Is she receiving a lot of pressure?
No.
Not as much. Okay. How do you know that she's receiving a lot of pressure? Any triggers to look at?
Probably just where her position is at.
Like it?
Like
Okay.
she's not
Hmm.
like for a tank, she's kind of like backing
Far
away.
back,
I
yeah.
would.
Yeah,
So
she's
it's like
backing away. Yeah, continue.
it's not like really pushing.
Hmm.
Like she's letting them push us, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're falling back. Yeah, so their position is not as aggressive. This is one. Yeah. Um, position is the one trigger. Anything else? Anything else when you know that this guy they start receiving a lot of pressure? Maybe think about what the enemy team will do to them. Well, you mentioned they push them, but is there any threatening resources to look at? Yeah, let's look at the enemy composition. Anything what can do a lot of damage on their team? What do you think?
Um, I mean, mostly just like junk rats, like grenades, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. So those nades. It might be also Junker Queen's axe, yeah, stuff like that. Maybe Echo's beam as well. And see, this is something you can also look at, yeah. The cooldowns. The cooldowns enemies are using. What you could try to do potentially, because this is a habit you can train at any rank. I would start doing just trying to track 1-2 cooldowns at the start. Try to track 1-2 cooldowns and see if the enemies are using those. And when they do, you can start paying attention to the teammate, to the one they're using those cooldowns on, yeah. Because again, you cannot track every possible cooldown at this point. It's really hard. Your working memory will be overwhelmed. I would just start with 1-2 cooldowns, and then later, once you know, maybe Junkerwin starts using Axe, and you will see, or maybe Echo, you will see there. She's actually starts using Beam. Yeah, so it's this becomes a good reasoning, right? Well, she's not doing that much pressure now because your wrist is fine, your wrist is full HP. But see, there's a good reasoning, yeah, why you will be doing something, yeah, because they apply a lot of pressure. Yeah, they start actually throwing those big burst abilities. Does it make sense?
I always hear people like when they do call outs say stuff like Moira no fade or Tracer
Yeah.
no recall and stuff like that. So it makes sense to like be mindful of like what they're using up.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would do that. I would do that. Cooldowns, position, and you can also track. And this is what we mentioned before. HP. HP is a simple one. I would just for now look into if somebody's critical or not. If I know that this person is critical and they are receiving a lot of pressure, so just yeah, let's say HP, yeah, HP. They're receiving a lot of pressure. Yeah, they're being attacked. Then I started doing something towards them. I start healing them, maybe using Suzu. Suzu is typically to disable the cooldowns. Suzu typically will be if something's big thrown at my teammate, then I disable it. Yeah, there's always should be a good reason. So I'm gonna maybe also say yeah, like Suzu for cooldowns. But yeah, let's keep going. Maybe get us more examples with this. I can actually also show you a few examples of a pro Kiri. Yeah, anything. Maybe it's a rank 2 GM or something. At top level, yeah, how you use your abilities and what do you exactly pay attention to? Yeah, those three things are really important. So again, HP, position, cooldowns. Let me see. I typically share this one. Let me watch this. Okay. I'm gonna open this browser here. Oh, there's an update. Okay, just give me one moment. It should be now. Should be working soon. Okay. Yeah, let's watch this one. Do you know somebody? Yeah, there's the player's called KG. I'm just gonna show you. Oh, it's pretty loud. Okay, so the idea here is we're looking at how this player they are paying attention to triggers and supporting the most active person. So this is what you're gonna be doing most of the time. You will see at the start they typically will see if there's opportunity to do damage though. Yeah, they just apply some general pressure. And you will see, okay, maybe there's nobody to do damage on, they heal, of course, but when there's an opportunity, as soon as they're gonna see the enemy later, so now they start shooting. Yeah, that is quite important. And then later, you can see, okay, who is the most active? Yeah, based on the position, I can see my tank is the most active. I cannot sneak any damage now, so I can just apply some of the healing. And you can also do the stack where you heal and then you sow shot anyway, heal, shoot. This is always important. But the first priority always will be how do you take an angle in the area? You remember we talked about this. Shut down the people. So you're just gonna push this guy away. For example, he's pushing this Cassidy away. And then later, once you down your own pressure, and this is done from the angle, you can start paying attention to who is more active. See the Zenyatta, yeah? Why we went back to the Zenyatta is based on the HP. It's based on that. They're critical HP. They're also, they're seeing a lot of pressure. I can start supporting them. Yeah, I never want to support too much right at the start. Yeah, I see the Doomfist punching the Zenyatta. Maybe he dies still, doesn't matter. What really matters is how you trade resources. You trade with something, yeah, you get better trades. Maybe you trade one Suzu with three abilities or with two cooldowns. It doesn't matter. This is already a pretty big win to you. This is what you want to do most of the time. And you see constantly this person, they always want to see, okay, who's more active? Yeah, but before, we're just doing some of the pressure, we're doing some of the damage before, and then later, you can always come back, yeah, if with too low HP, obviously. But supporting the teammates only, seeing who is active. Yeah, let's see, maybe one more example here. You see, again, something you can already scout. You can scout that two people potentially being aggressive. Cass here and Sigma is there, and this is something you can anticipate. Yeah, this is something, okay, I probably want to pay attention to those guys more, but as your second priority. The first priority is always what do you do with your own pressure. So you see this KG, they're actually pushing up more. Yeah, they take in angle here, but they're also looking around. They're also looking around the scene. These guys, yeah, I didn't need any help, and this is just in downtime, but it's not the priority. They will see that Sigma is taking an angle. Okay, so you want to support Sigma more, and this is how you do it. People getting spread out all over the place all the time, to be honest. What matters is you support the most active angle, I guess. Okay.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. So see what you do there. You wall climb, you get closer. You apply some of the damage there. And you could stay there still. See, there's maybe no it's just about how you use the cover, making sure you do this sort of this is gonna be this cover here and just shoot from the angle, but this is fine. I would just stay here longer, I think, and only start supporting when I see there are enough triggers. You see enough triggers, then you start healing up. Alright, this is good. see something you need to do to be able to support the most active member there. So once you're here, yeah, let's think about that. So when can you actively scout? When you can actually scout if your teams need help or not? Yeah, when you can start looking around like this Cage did. So in this example here, we saw him. Maybe even in that downtime here, they start looking around, right? So is there any good time for you to start doing it here, for example?
Um, Probably like after I take the few shots here, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, you can do well. You can do that. Well, I'm thinking maybe even more. So because at the high level, what you can actually even do is try to scout between shots, but might be a little bit too advanced. I don't think you have to do it constantly now. I think you can at least start with if you take the position right before you apply pressure. So it's just maybe yeah, couple of shots or right before you apply pressure, look around and check, yeah. And it should be quick check. And the more you do it, the faster you will be, though. Yeah, the more you do it, the faster you'll be, and you check. Oh, what's happening? Because maybe you could notice that the Sako is pretty killable, and then you would kill her, and then your Symmetra would actually survive because of it too. Because you're noticing, they're taking a lot of pressure, but this is pretty killable. This guy here was the 1 HP. I can really destroy now. Yeah, so I would just do this. Yeah, scout. Scout before applying pressure. Yeah, so it's this. I say here it's just it should be. Yeah, I guess it should be. You should be comfortable doing both ideally. Yeah, you should be scouting information, seeing how can you apply pressure, but then also being able to come back towards your team. Right, so see, okay, applying some of the pressure here. How can you approach this? So let's say you want to approach this, guys, yeah? Think about it the same way, yeah? You need to set up and then scout, yeah? You need to set up, then scout. Where can you set up and then scout later? Set up to attack this guys. Where it's the best position for you to take.
Um, like right by the stairs on the left.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. You can maybe use one of the sky guns too. Yeah, so it's just to the right side as well. You can just get closer, basically. You get closer and then scout. It's constantly set up, scout, and while you're setting up, you'll have this brief window of downtime, I think. But now you're kind of constantly attacking, and this is out in the open as well, so it's pretty dangerous. You waste your Suzu because of it. They need to take the position first. Take the position, get closer, and then shoot. And see even there, yeah? It's fine to shoot, but can you set up even better? Give me the angle. What is the good angle for you to set up at instantly?
Um, right where that Mercy's at.
Yeah, instantly. So go there. Yeah, you just need to prioritize setup and getting. And this is typically gonna be some sort of short range sightline. You don't want to be like a sniper, Kiri. Yeah, you're not as effective at this range anyway. You need to get closer with somebody. Yeah, and you will see constantly the KG. Yeah, also which the one we watch is constantly gonna be taking those short range fights. Yeah, even this high gun. You see how short it is. Yeah, it's always set up first and then do something. Set up first and then do something. So the same stuff there.
I think right here, like the getting the nano kind of like pushed me like to make a play. So I think my mind went
Yes,
into just like going like gung ho
exactly.
with the nano.
Exactly. And this is what I want you to avoid. Yeah, make sure you still shoot, but your main priority is setup. So I want you to be moving towards the right position as your first priority. You can keep shooting, but this is the same thing as there. You just kept shooting, but you could kept shooting and go on the high ground or go here. You just set up first. Once you set up, I'm good, I guess. You can divert the attention, you can have good short range sideline, but just shooting is not good enough because it gets you not at a good position and long-term value is lower. It's very hard to hit the shots from here too. See where you are now, right? You need to just be already over here somewhere. Yeah, you could be there, and still with nano, basically. This one is also fine later, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's just your first priorities should be how do you get to the right position, I guess. This is fine. Okay, you see the Sarissa? Right, what do you think? Is she's active now?
Yes.
Yeah. So what can you do now?
I probably could have like healed
Mhm.
sooner. I know my Suzu wasn't quite available
Yep,
yet. That's
yep.
why I think I
Start
had a
healing.
late Suzu, but
No, this is fine. Yeah, but start healing. I guess. Yeah, you start healing, and then you sow the Suzu later, and she should be fine. I definitely think if you can potentially also proc the abilities, it will be even better. So we'll see. Maybe there's somewhat of a big burst. It might be also in the launch some sort of shots too. If you track big burst shots, and this is something you can Suzu. This is really nice. Okay, good. And see here, alright, we are healing Anna, and this is fine, right? But once there's no trigger, so see, she is not critical anymore, yeah? Maybe she's fine now. Your first idea is, again, make sure you set up and fight, yeah? Just go after this Sombra, for example, yeah? You can get at a short range, get in her face, and then you can CP out, yeah? Always, always something to do. And you also will see there, you just will notice who is more active later too. You will scout, maybe see, oh, my symmetry is more forward. But this is something you can constantly do just right after you done the fight, yeah, after before every fight basically. And make sure you set up somewhere and fight instead of just shooting. You're just healing. It's even okay if your team is die, honestly. When you're establishing this habit, it's fine. Later you will be better at it. Later you will be noticing when your teammates need help, when enemies really active, stuff like that. So see now, are we set up? Are we set up at the best spot? So see you again, we kind of stuck in this shooting or healing mode, yeah? Where should it be at this point?
um, probably closer to the bot.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, can you repeat that again? Closer to what?
Closer to the robot.
Closer to the robot. Well, so it's this angle here, huh? Well, so you stand kind of with the big group of people here. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Can you take an angle anywhere else?
Um,
So it's you divert more of the enemy attention.
like behind on the stairs.
Yeah, possibly. So it can be this, it can be this, and this is what I want you to do. Yeah, try to set up on those more 180 and 90 angles, kind of. You wanna try to get there first. Yeah, you wanna try to divert the attention. This is how you save your teammates. First of all, because you will be baiting an enemy to use abilities on you from here, and if they do, then you get better traits. 1 TP for this Junker Queen using Shout and Axe on you, this is already a win. But because you're stuck here, you're making it more difficult for your teammates to push up. You need to set up somewhere on the angle. It's good you're supporting Dorissa, she's more active now, but this is really far range. You need to get short range and the angle as well. Just constantly being somewhere. You still will be contributing to the kill zone, the one we mentioned. You don't want to be stuck in one place. Right. So see here. Situation changed. Nobody needs help as much. Yeah, there are no triggers. So where should you set up right away? Where should you go?
Um, maybe where the soldiers at.
Yeah, it can
Like
be. Yeah, this one. Yeah, maybe shorter. Maybe you can even. What do you think about going here as well later? Potentially using this high ground as the pressure point. Is it possible?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that can be. So, and this is what you want to do. So once this happens, then nobody needs help. You don't want to be stuck in a healing or shooting mode. Just set up first. Just get in a position. And this is where ultimate gets better too. Or maybe it's not needed as well. Because your risk is actually using the ultimate. You see, oh, she got enough value, I don't want to do anything. We're already 5-man, and we almost killed the Junker Queen. I think they're also missing one. Where's the last one? Oh yeah, they're missing Junkrat. So, we're missing one as well. But yeah, it's gonna be 4v4, and it becomes 4v3 really soon. So, it's gonna be okay. And maybe you don't need your ultimate, and you can save it for the next fight, which is nice. But it's because you've been patient. Yeah, it's because you're not constantly, I guess, always damaging or always healing. You need to get in a position first. There are gonna be a few triggers for you to look at. Right. Okay. See, same situation there. Instead of constantly shooting, get to the angle somewhere. Just go there. Yeah, go here, shoot from here. Divert the enemy's attention. These guys will be fine. You can always TP to them later. This is definitely okay. Maybe use the platform too, steal the platform if you see that. Wall climb is fine though. You don't want to be playing behind your tank. This becomes really difficult. Right. Okay. Just a little bit over aggressive there, but that's alright.
Yeah, I think with getting a nano, like sometimes it throws me off because I'm like, why did I get nanoed? And it's like I need to make use of it.
Yeah, that's okay. Honestly, don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think it's fine. You know, you get the nano, just get the best out of it. And even in that case, yeah, make sure you put the setup as your first priority because you didn't. Yeah, this is what happens. We constantly stuck on a shooting mode. I don't want you to shoot. I don't want you to constantly shoot. I want you to shoot when it's valuable. So when I'm after these people, what if I even just spend some time going after? So we've been before. Maybe taking the high gun here, or maybe because you're being more patient, take your time. You could notice the Aqua's over here. She's more killable. Yep, stuff like that. I just want you to scout more. This is what I think you need to do more. You really trying to do too much maybe, or just there's not getting enough info. That's why it's like tough for you to also see what's the target priority is. Right.
I think putting the focus of trying to be more proactive, I kind of like maybe lost sight of like everything else. Maybe
That
like,
happens. Yeah, that is understandable. I think let's put it this way: we want to be proactive, but start being slow first. I want you to be slow, and later you can build up the speed. You don't have to be proactive in a way that constantly do something. Yeah, proactive is all about we make situations so enemies are doing something towards us. Yeah, proactive, that means we're not waiting for the enemy to make an action. We do some sort of action so an enemy team responds to it. Yeah, this is what we mean by proactive. And that's why setup is so crucial, because you're at the right position. You make an enemy team to do something. Yeah, because they have to. If they don't, they just die, or yeah, your team wins because of the how much attention you divert. It also might be, yeah, just this cooldown straight as well, because again, proactive, we make them use something. This is really nice. See here, okay, our proactivity. Where should he be right away? So, well, this Orisa, does she need help now? Anybody needs help now?
um, not really. No,
Really? Yep. So
they're
there's no.
mostly topped off.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. So not enough triggers. Yeah, maybe the Orisa's in the front line. Yeah, we talked about the position. We want to pay attention to it a little bit more. Anybody who's frontline, and typically you want to pay attention to them more, but not now. Yeah, the front position is later. Yeah, your first trigger is always seeing the HP, I guess. Yeah, seeing the HP who's critical. Later, it can be cooldowns as well. Who's using what? But now, be proactive. Yeah, go in your own position. Maybe go up. Now this is still shooting, and this is really tough for you to shoot. even from mechanical perspective, all of these guys are strafing against this big group of people. Well, at the higher ranks, people will strafe more frequently and more randomly. Here, people maybe they don't strafe as much, but still, this is something you have to know because they move in this direction. It becomes really tough for you to aim, especially at this range. Not possible. You're really hard. I actually talked about it in one of my videos. It's been a video on Zenyatta. I think video showcases this. Whenever you whenever you at the right angle, it's just so much easier for you to aim properly. Let me see. Yeah, I can take a look at this one. I'm just gonna show you this quick example. Because it's similar to Kiri, I think the way you position a lot of times. Wait,
Choose to
let
play
me let me see. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, maybe any questions meanwhile, or everything's clear?
Everything's good.
Yeah, okay, so this one. This is an example, I think, yeah, this is gonna be one of this the France examples, and I was talking about how you can take somewhat of a 90 angles and try to make it easy for you to aim, because people are gonna strafe in this direction. They're strafing against the rest of your core, the rest of your team. You can take advantage of that, and you can make it so they move in a straight line for you. What the Fran is gonna do here, you will see they're gonna move all the way left and try to position on what's that called? Yeah, there's position near the taxi, and they're trying to attack this area, the one I'm marking here in the video. You will see later they will move. Oh, let's skip this part. Yeah, they will move towards the left side, and they constantly creating this off angle. So now it makes it easy for them to aim, but also they divert the attention. You see this Moira, how she's strafing. She's strafing against these guys here, and so much easier for you to aim towards her and get a kill on her just because of your setup. It's your first priority. The front will still be shooting and moving up in the positions. Let me see, like maybe later. Gonna give you another example. Let's say this one, the second point. Yeah, we're trying to attack this area here, but we're not stuck with our team shooting. No, we first move towards the position, towards the right side. Let's see here. This is what he's gonna do. Take a 90 angle, while the rest of his team is attacking from, let's call this A direction. And Junkrat is aiming towards here. So there's a pretty high chance for the front to kill him. And this is how you can constantly do it on your characters. 90 to 180 angles typically with the Kiri is the way to go. 180 because you get mobility. You can also, well, take advantage of that. And people not really able to see you, so it still becomes easier for you to aim because they're not exactly strafing against you. You can read their pattern. Stuff like that. Yeah. So this is what I would do.
So sorry, I have a question about that. Like, say for example, like in a Zenyatta, sometimes like I find myself like doing that, but then it's like all of a sudden like my team is like falling back, and then suddenly I'm like deep in the back line, and it's like hard for me to like teleport because they're still like pushing back. And is it like something like that I have control like when my teammates start falling back, or?
Yeah, this is something you can pay attention to. That's why scouting here is gonna be quite important. Yeah, I think it was one of the topics. This has been one of the topics we suggested to talk about to anyway later. So I think will be good to look at it. I just will say for now, just try to scout in downtime and see what your team is doing really. So you set up and then scout, set up and then scout. You check where your team is. Yeah, when you're scouting. And this way you can contribute to the right area. Because remember, we talked about how you need to contribute to the kill zone, shoot what's in the kill zone. So I would do that, yeah. Just try to see, oh, maybe at the start, remember where your tank is, for example. So if I'm shooting this area, maybe with my Orisa, yeah, then I will know that I probably will be fine because Orisa is absorbing the enemy's attention. I can start applying pressure from there as well. But if the Orisa is falling back, and I do notice it when I'm in the angle, then I can be like, okay, I have to give up some space too. Well, it's not really that maybe you have to give up the angle. Sometimes you still can move on the angle, but just make sure you pay attention to where your team is attacking, so you contribute to the same area with them. Does it make sense?
It does.
Yeah, so this is what I would do for now. Just make sure you're consistently scouting this and your trigger points. Yeah, I really want you to, especially with the Suzu. Yeah, you will be denying some sort of cooldowns and when somebody's critical. You'll see here. Okay, let's see. Is this a good point to use Suzu? So see, okay, at this point, it's good, I think, because you deny the Sentai of the Chunka Queen in a way. And there's been quite a lot of pressure on the Rissa. Yeah, maybe let's see later. Okay, Suzu's back. We're still kind of stuck in this position though. Yeah, you could be somewhere around there. Again, more proactive pressure, more proactive setup. When there are no triggers, yeah, no triggers such as HP, no cooldowns being used on the enemy team, big cooldowns. Yeah, you just have to, for now, just track 1-2. 1-2 cooldowns is enough. Later you can track more. Yeah, so you could be using this as a positional thing, and see, because now you're not set up, you have to use Suzu on yourself, kind of. Yeah, you see where you are, you're kind of out in the open. Where should you be now?
Probably further back and let the tank be in the front, maybe.
Further back where?
Like off, like in between the two hedges,
Yeah,
maybe.
between edges. You can even go deeper. Take advantage of that. I'm definitely... it's definitely good if you can go deeper. This is what we, I think, said in one of the sessions. Take those 180 off angles. You can do that. Just make sure you're not exactly stuck because you tank too much. Because this way you get killed, you can get killed and your Suzu's getting forced. So it's not gonna get as much value. And you'll see the enemy, they actually will start using cooldowns. What if you use your Suzu somewhere around there to deny the axe, damage boosted axe, and also deny the Junkrat's shots? But you have it in 1-2 seconds now because you used it on yourself before. It's not a bad thing to use it on yourself. Yeah, I want you to say it's good to get cooldown straight. If you're able to force out the enemy team to do something towards you, then sure, this is good. Yeah, maybe like here, there's a shout. Okay, there's a tree as well. There's a knife. So this is sort of fine. Yeah, this is sort of fine. But again, the potential to play a little bit towards the cover here, but it's okay. Interesting. You're getting nanoed all the time.
Yeah.
The other. I mean, oh, from Yana, sorry. It's funny. That's okay. That's alright. Alright. Well, we'll watch some of...
Oh, I was gonna ask, for like maps, like ones with like, say, like there's more of a choke to them, like say, like you're on defense in Hollywood, where there's like a choke point, like between like the two sides, like that I feel like would be harder for me to take off angles just because it's a choke point, and like, what about like those maps with like choke points like that, like what would be good positioning for those?
Yeah, exactly. The idea is the same. If you ever stuck on a map where there's some sort of choke, yeah, it's pretty tough for you to get through. This idea is even more important. You need to find a way to take an angle. How you do that though? Well, you take advantage of what your tank do. They absorb the pressure. You just move up on the angle. You just move up and control space. Obviously, it's yeah, I think it's one of the biggest things you can take advantage of. And you will see even here, KG, yeah? This is typically, this first point, you're typically getting stuck here quite a lot in the first choke. But see, once your tank is being more aggressive, yeah, and maybe they're not moving up, it doesn't matter. All what matters is that you know they're active. And active is based on multiple triggers. They're frontlining and taking pressure, maybe cooldowns being used on them, and just move up instantly. Go take an angle. Yeah, go take an angle here. You can also take an angle here. You maybe on Eichenwald, it's also the same thing. You can move up and take an angle on the bridge and move to the right side room. There's always an option, basically. There's no map where you really getting stuck in the choke and not able to take an angle. Sometimes it might be that you're getting stuck because of your hero, but that's where I said, yeah, pick the character based on the map accordingly, so you take advantage of that more. Yeah, maybe you have a certain map where it's easier for you to play more mobile character like Kiri with a lot of high grounds. Then do it. Yeah, it's definitely easier to play Kiri on Numbani compared to Ana. Yeah, Ana, you're not able to move up on the high grounds instantly. It takes a lot of time, and even though you're there, it's still pretty challenging for you to exist there all the time. With the Kiri, you can always move out, move back. Yeah, so stuff like that. That's what I would do. Maybe if you ever have a trouble with certain point, you can always send me timestamp. I always say that. Send me timestamp with the comments. Maybe I'm not sure how to break through this Hollywood shock. Yeah, what do I do? Send me timestamp question. I will help. There's yeah, take advantage of that. I can always do that. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So let's do that and. I think yeah, let's try to summarize what we mentioned today so far. So, what are the concepts you need to work on so far? You tell me.
Um, just looking out, being more aware while I'm like positioning.
Mm-hmm. So, where, what exactly? So, what do we need to pay attention to?
Just like who was taking a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is the one. And how do you know that? Who's taking a lot of pressure? What is it based on?
Based on how they're positioned, like how much
Uh-huh.
aggression they're taking.
Yeah, let's put this one here. This is gonna be good one. Yeah, position. Mainly, I'm gonna write down here. Anybody who's in the front line, for now, this is something you can pay attention to. HP as well. Yeah, if they're critical, then you start healing them. Mm-hmm. And cooldowns. Yeah, if the cooldowns enemy's using something, then you can try to deny those as well. You see, because person's using cooldowns on one of your teammate, you know they start receiving more pressure. So really, just start tracking 1-2 most dangerous. Track 1-2 big cooldowns, I would say. This is enough. This is what I would do. And you will be using Suzu for those big cooldowns typically. Mm. Stuff like that, yeah, I would do that. Maybe there's anti-nade, yeah, I know, okay, I can deny it with Suzu. Also, it can be stuff like it can be ultimates as well. You can protect your teammates with the Suzu as well. Just make sure they're actively receiving pressure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is what I would look at. Uh-huh. So receiving pressure. Okay. What about your position? What we just mentioned. What do you need to
Uh,
do as well? Hmm?
Better angles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like mm, off angles to them better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with better angles, what does it mean exactly? What kind of angles you will be taking?
Um, like the 180s or off angles. That way I can swift step out to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Make
yeah.
value of the
Mhm.
swift step.
Exactly, exactly. I would say maybe be more direct with off angles. I'm just gonna say you're gonna be taking more towards 180 off angles. Yeah. So for example, here you'll see KG. What they're gonna do? Yeah. His team is attacking from the right side. He's trying to lean towards the left. Yeah, trying to lean towards the 180. Obviously, it's not always the case, not always possible, but you will be kind of stuck between 90 to 180 angles typically. This is what you will be doing on the Kyrie, I think. And your range will be short range. You need to be taking more short to mid range battles. I'm gonna say for the sake of the habit, let's just put it as a short range, so you're not too far, because there have been a lot of cases where I think you're way too far. It's more of like a sniper range sometimes too. You don't want to be. You want to be more in the enemies phase. Yeah. So the way you see it here, yeah, they just start applying really short range pressure, and then they keep attacking from the short. You don't want to play way too far. Yeah. You need to get closer. Okay, okay. I think it's this. Yeah, let's do scouting too. So you're gonna be doing some of the scouting. Check where your team is before applying pressure. And yeah, we'll see how is that